So guys, we are going to deal with one of the chapter of physical chemistry called as solutions. So of course we have a deal with the solutions in our lower classes. So whenever we say a solution, of course we say that solution is the combination of your solute plus solvent. Yeah. So now we are going to see that what do you mean by this solute and what do you mean by this solvent. So whenever you're considering the container, okay, consider this one as a container. To this one, if I'm added with some of water, and to this one I'm adding from external source the sugar. Of course, now you can only say that here sugar constitutes your solute, water is your solvent. Then how can you define that of your solute and the solvent? Remember guys, so the solvent means the component which is present in a large quantity. So what do you mean by solvent? The component present in large quantity. Alva. So when you are considering with respect to the sugar, the component or the quantity of the water is more. So such a component which is in a large, such thing is called as a solvent. So of course you can now easily say what do you mean by a solute. So one or more component present in a solution other than the solvent. So whatever rest is present, excluding, remember my word, excluding your solvent, whatever the other components which is present, they will be called as a solute. For example, you can ask me, sir, here only is the sugar. Of course, if I'm going to add to this one as a sand, so what happens? Even though I'm adding sugar and sand, but the larger quantity is your water, so that will be constituting your solvent. Whereas your one or more than one components other than the solvent will be constituting that of your solute. So together, solute and a solvent constitutes your solution. So in simple words, we can say that solutions are the homogeneous mixture of two or more than two components. So simply we can just say that solution is a combination of your solute plus solvent. But the major important thing now we are going to see, what do you mean by binary solutions? One of the most interesting topic. Of course we know what do you mean by binary. Binary means two. So these are the solutions which consists of just two components. If you are just remembering when I said for the definition of the solute, I said one or more components other than the solvent constitutes your solute. So there is a possibility that in a solution more than two components exist. But when I am specifically dealing with the binary solutions, what does it say? So the solutions which consists of only two components. So the solution which consists of only two components, remember, here each component may be a solid, a liquid or a gas. So what do you say with respect to the binary solution? Binary means you should come to your mind at two. So solution which is consists of that of your two components where the each component may be a solid. It could be a solid. It could be a liquid or a gas. So depending upon these states of the matter which is existing as a component in a solution, we are going to see the different types of the solution or different types of your binary solution. So first we are going to see called as it of your gaseous solution. Remember, this is your type. Here I am going to write my solute, here will be my solvent, and here will be my examples. So remember, whenever we are choosing a gaseous solution, the major component or which is in a large excess will be your gas, which will be acting as a of your solvent. So in a gaseous solution, just keep in your mind the solvent is your gas. Now let us see now the solute as one by one. So if now solute is a gas, remember they are the type of the binary components. Only two components are present. You can just notice over here. So for example, how can you give if a solute is also a gas and a solvent is also a gas? So I can just give a mixture of your nitrogen and oxygen gas. Of course, here any one of the gas will be a major excess which will be called as a solvent, another will be a solute which is also a gas. Coming with respect to that of your liquid in gas, of course we can just take as a chloroform, CH3Cl with nitrogen gas. Yeah, so your chloroform is a solute which will be in the liquid phase, and the nitrogen will be in the gaseous phase which will be acting as a solvent. Of course, the other part, solid and a gas. Of course, you can just say camphor in nitrogen. Camphor means plus nitrogen. So your camphor will be in the solid state and the nitrogen will be existing as a gas which will be acting as a solvent. So this is one type of a solution. Coming to the other type, what you can say, it is called as that of your liquid solution. So you can only say now, in gaseous solution we have seen the solvent was a gas. In liquid solution, what it would be then? Good. So it will be your liquid, and liquid. Same way we will be proceeding now. So your solute is a gas and the solvent is a liquid. Of course, we are seeing this one in day-to-day life. Oxygen in water, whatever the water we are drinking, in there we will be having a dissolved oxygen. So your oxygen is a gas which will be a solute, water which is a liquid acting as a solvent. Coming with respect to liquid in liquid, what you can say, any alcoholic you can ask it, he will be easily saying this example. Ethanol in water, alcohol in water. Here ethanol will be your liquid which will be present in a smaller quantity acting as a solute. Water will be in the major quantity, of course boys would be knowing it. So that will be having the major quantity acting as a solvent. Coming with respect to that of your solid in liquid, remember very much important, our catalytic process we have seen. Hydrogen gas adsorbed on that of your palladium catalyst. Or similarly we can also go with iron catalyst which will be absorbing certain amount of gases while doing your ammonia part, N2 plus 3H2 in the presence of iron catalyst. So what is happening over there? So there we are saying, solid in liquid, here we have to say glucose in water. Glucose in water, solid in liquid. So here solid will be your sugar molecules. Now you can easily say sugar which is dissolved in water. Coming with respect to the solid solution, here I should have given you that example. So here what will be happening? Solid solution means your solvent will be your solid. Very good. Now let us go one by one. So gas on solid. Here will be our example. So for example, hydrogen gas on the top of your palladium catalyst. Hydrogen on palladium catalyst. Yes. So your hydrogen will be acting as a gas, whereas your palladium catalyst will be acting as a solid surface. Just recall from your adsorption, surface adsorption, the chapter you have just written for notes. There what happens? Your gas is getting adsorbed on the palladium catalyst. Similarly in the Haber's process, N2 plus 3H2 in presence of iron catalyst. So gas is getting adsorbed on a solid. So that will be also called as a of your solid solution. Remember. So now coming with respect to liquid and solid, of course sodium amalgam we have seen. So mercury, amalgam of mercury with sodium. We will be saying sodium amalgam. There the sodium will be acting as a solid which will be in a larger quantity acting as a solvent. Amalgam of mercury will be in a liquid state which will be acting as a of your solute. This will be very much aware for you. Can you anybody give an example for solid in solid? Yeah, girls could be easily doing can easily give an example. Jewelries. So copper which is dissolved in gold. Yes. So this will be constituting that of your solid in liquid. So copper will be acting as that of your solute part in a smaller quantity, whereas gold will be somewhat larger quantity, will be acting as that of your solvent. So in this way we can easily classify a binary solutions into majorly three important types: gaseous solution, liquid solution, solid solution. So in gaseous solution the major solvent will be your gas. In liquid solution the major solvent will be your liquid. In the solid solution the major solvent will be that of your solid. So now in this case we have just recalling so what we have done so far. So what do you mean by a solution? So solution is a mixture of that of your solute and a solvent. So what do you mean by a solvent? The component which is present in a large quantity will be called as the term of your solvent. Whereas what do you mean by solute? One or more components other than the solvent will be called as the term of your solute. Coming with respect to the most important thing which we are going to deal in the further classes also, this is called as the term of your binary solution. We know that binary means what? Two. So the solutions which is composing or consisting of two components, where each component may be a gas, liquid or a solid. Any of the component could be. But the major thing is what? That solution is consisting of two components. That is the major thing. So depending on that two components, the states of matter, we have classified them as a gaseous solution, liquid solution and the solid solution. So in my next video, we are going to see what are the different concentration terms we are going to use in a solution.